Close my eyes, I open my heart. I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind. I'm here and now, in present time. The power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. You sing to me, change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise. That's why we came. Love's calling, calling out the name. Love's calling, it's why we came. Come on and rise, rise, spirit rise up. Rise in me. close my eyes, I open my heart. I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind. I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, rise in me. I sing to you, I sing to you, you sing to me, you sing to me. Change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in close my eyes, I open my heart. I'll take a deep breath, let the healing start. I lift my hands, I plant my feet, I let love in. I feel the beat that's calling us to rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. I let in my soul, I clear my mind. I'm here and now, in present time. I feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark. Oh, we rise as one. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, rise in me. I sing to you, I sing to you, you sing to me, you sing to me. Change up this noise, make sweet harmony. Come on and rise, oh rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me, rise in me. Heart to heart, hand in hand, no turning back, onward to promised land. Do you feel the power of 1,000 suns lighting up the dark? Oh, we rise as one. Love's calling, calling out your name. Love's calling. That's why we came. Love's calling, calling out the name. Love's calling. It's why we came. Come on and rise, rise, spirit rise up, rise in me. Oh, rise, come on and rise. Oh, spirit rise up, rise in me. Rise up, rise up.
Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Halloween. Happy whatever you might be celebrating today. We want to welcome you to our Sunday celebration. My name is Reggie Kapp, and I am a licensed practitioner here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Before we start, we would greatly appreciate it if you would share this live stream to help us spread our message. I'll pause for you to do that now. Wonderful. Thank you. At Columbia CSL, we live the truth of who we are through our identity, mission, and vision statements. Our new identity statement is, we are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Our new vision states we are contributing to a world that works for everyone. And we carry out that vision through our mission. We are a welcoming, inclusive spiritual center where everyone can be seen and heard. We lovingly practice the principles of science of mind in the world. I invite you now to set an intention for this week. Just take a deep breath and allow yourself to sink into the feeling of that intention right now as you open to receive Spirit's guidance throughout our time together. All right, we have a saying here. Listening or singing or listening to music is like praying twice. So we begin each service with a song. Let's welcome the incomparable Safi Lin. Safi is an international singer-songwriter, performer, and teacher whose mission is to connect hearts around the world through her original and traditional medicine songs.
Of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones. The rocks, the trees, the dirt, and the stream teach me things I cannot read. I've been troubled, it's been hard to sleep. Still I'm embraced by the love of the breeze. I am learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones. I've been sitting with my thoughts for days. It seems as if I've lost my way. I walk into the woods to pray. It's subtle, but it's there. My fears melt away. I am learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones. Release me, nothing's lost. I'm encircled by this love. Connection from within, it's beckoning me, whispering to me, I'm listening. I am learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones. They tell me breathe, feel your heartbeat within, remember where your soul has been. There's no time like now to begin. Seek and ye shall find your win. I am learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones. I am learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways of the wise ones, learning the ways
Thank you so much, Safi, for that amazing gift. Beautiful. If this is your first time experiencing Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you. We thank you for joining us today. We want you to know that no matter who you are or whatever your spiritual path, you are welcome here. We invite you to visit our website at columbiacsl.com to learn more about our spiritual community. You can replay past services and find articles and other resources. And please check out the calendar on our website for events and opportunities to gather with our community. Exciting things are happening here at Columbia CSL. First of all, I'd like to give a big shout out to everyone who participated in this morning's Bay Bridge Walk. I bet it was a little crisp out there. It was a brisk and beautiful morning, though, for this once-a-year chance to walk or run across the majestic Chesapeake Bay Bridge, which is typically closed to pedestrians. The Columbia CSL team dedicated this walk to our very own Donald Lewis. Thank you, Donald, for inspiring so many. All right, if you are currently a member here at Columbia CSL, it's time to renew your annual membership. Look for the membership and 2022 pledge form sent via email, or you might even get one in the mail. And feel free to contact me at reggie@columbiacsl.com. If you are presently not a member, we invite you to consider joining us. All right, so I can help with those if you need it. All right, reminder that our women's group meets this Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. for insightful discussion on incorporating science of mind principles into everyday lives. If you are interested in learning more about the women's group, contact Julia Mattis at juliamattis@hotmail.com. All right, we have upcoming personal growth opportunities. Dr. Nadine's November 10th workshop is called Dancing with Difficult People. And then we also have a 4-week online course with Reverend Dr. Joanne Lanning called Practicing the Healing Energy of Prayer. So either or both of these offerings could lead to the transformation that you are looking for in your life. And you can find the links in our newsletter, and we'll be getting those up on the website very shortly. All right, so lastly, Columbia CSL has partnered with the Howard County Association of Realtors for their Thanksgiving food basket drive. The deadline to fill a basket, it could be a laundry basket, a wicker, a tote, whatever you want, whatever you have on hand or find, it's November 10th. So if you need the list of items, email me again at reggie@columbiacsl.com. and I'll be happy to send it out to you. I have my basket almost completed. I just want to find that one more thing. All right, for more information and to sign up for any of our events, please visit our website calendar, www.columbiacsl.com/events. You'll see it on there. You can also stay informed through our weekly newsletter, and please feel free to email us anytime at info@columbiacsl.com. All right, and now let us consciously engage in spiritual practice together. We invite you to settle in, to center yourself in this moment, to find that still, sacred place within, where spirit is all there is. All right, we will have a contemplative reading by Zita Johnson Betts, and then a guided meditation and affirmative prayer.
Good morning, everyone. Today's reading is by Reverend Dr. Ron Fox from the Science of Mind Daily Guide, the August 5th, 2021 version. Be a light. Joanne Blum says that coming into our luminosity is a choice that takes time and patience. It isn't reserved for the special few, but is available to all of us. Coming into our luminosity means finding insights into ourselves and seeking Spirit's guidance as we move through life. We experience it when we realize our oneness with Spirit. Composer Johannes Brahms said, "I always contemplate my oneness with the Creator before commencing to compose. I immediately feel vibration that fill my entire being." The author John Randolph Price tells us we need to awaken to the masters we were meant to be. We must accept our true identity and let it live through us. Christhood isn't something we come into in the future. It is here right now. It is ours anytime we move to a higher vibration. The writer Hugh Prather said, "The secret to finding God is to understand there is no great spiritual attainment that must occur first. Anyone who wants to feel God's presence will feel God's presence. Spirit's guidance comes in many ways: an image, a dream, a nudge, a feeling, a sudden knowing. When we ask for guidance, we receive an answer. Our job is to make space for it within ourselves so that it can come into our awareness, which means we must set aside some quiet time to listen for God's response." Ram Dass explained the process wonderfully. As you walk down the street, you can tune your receiver into the world on a number of channels. Each way of tuning creates a different street experience, but the street doesn't change. You do. Please join me in this affirmation. Today, I tune my receiver to Spirit. That's my channel. I listen for the divine guidance I know is mine for the asking. Spirit always responds, always. I am blessed. I have faith. I know this is so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Sita. As we contemplate the reading and the affirmation, I invite you to settle deeper into your chair. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and simply relax into this guided meditation. It's time to clear your mind. Let your breathing fall into a natural rhythm as we turn within. Concentrate on slow, relaxed breathing. Let go of any random thought. Just focus on the breath. Notice anywhere in your body you might be holding tension or any kind of discomfort, and simply breathe into that area. Recognize that you are a receiver and can tune into any vibration that you choose. Catch that vibration of love, of joy, of peace, of abundance, of grace, and tune in. Tune into the infinite wisdom of the universe. I know that I can find any answer in my reflection, in my introspection. And when I patiently listen to that sacred voice within, I know that I know. Today, I tune in my receiver to Spirit. I'm open to Spirit's guidance for my best and highest good, and for the good of all those around me. I am alive, awake, and aware. And I am blessed. I rest in this knowing and breathe. Know with me that there is only one power, one infinite creative intelligence that is the source of all there is. Everything seen and unseen, everything known and the yet to be discovered. It's all one. I call this omniscient presence God, and I know that it is both the creator and the creation. And since there is only one, I know that I am one with this presence, a unique expression of the divine. And as I know this truth for myself, I know this truth for everyone, everywhere. What I know is that this service is blessed and is a blessing. I know that peace is present here and now, infinite and eternal. I know that we are confident in the divine unfoldment of life, and therefore the divine unfoldment of this service and this community. As we listen, we are open to receive inspiration, wisdom, joy, transformation. We know that we have the ability to transcend any experience that no longer serves us. And we do that now. We claim a greater consciousness of light, love, and peace. We have named it and we've claimed it. We know that it can only come back fulfilled. And so I'm so grateful to speak this word, to know this truth on behalf of Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. So with a grateful heart, I release this word unto the law that simply can't help itself. It just says yes. I simply let go and allow it to be so. And so it is. All right. So welcome back. In this community, our spiritual practitioners and ministers are eager to know the truth with you. Feel free to email your request for prayer or counseling to prayer@columbiacsl.com, and we will hold your truth in prayer throughout the week. And now it's my pleasure to introduce once again, Safi Lin.
Thank you so much for inviting me to come perform for you this morning. I hope you'll join me in singing this next song. This is a song I received from the trees last year. It says, Ora, ahora, aquí, which in Spanish means pray now, here. When we sing it, it flows together. Ora, ora, aquí. Ora, ora, aquí. Ora, ora, aquí. I'll sing it again and again. I hope you'll join me. Pray now, here. In a blink of a moment, the bat of an eyelash. Ora, ora, aquí. With no good memories, no good stories. Ora, ora, aquí. With my heart. Ora, ora, aquí. With my soul. Ora, ora, aquí. ¿Dónde está mi corazón? ¿Dónde está tu visión? Ora, ora, aquí. Cuando la libertad, el amor es la verdad. Ora, ora, ora aquí. Cuando la vida es mala, creceremos las alas. Ora, ora aquí. With our hearts. Ora, ora aquí. With our souls. Ora, ora aquí. With my heart. Ora, ora aquí. With my soul. Ora, ora aquí.
Thank you so much, Safi, for another beautiful gift. That was fun. And now it's my pleasure to welcome back, after a much needed sabbatical, our very own Reverend Jenna Wexler with her talk titled, I'll Meet You There. Yay, Reverend Jenna.
Oops, stop. I may have to turn my phone off. Sorry about that, everyone. Good morning. That was my trick or treat opening up this morning. Good morning, Spirit family. This actually is no trick. I have missed you, and I am happy to be here with you this morning. I bring the sweet treat that my talk this morning marks a turning point. The beginning of my return from sabbatical. I'm starting to ease back in. So it feels great. And what a wonderful day to start. You have all been wonderful in honoring my space and privacy during the sabbatical. And now we can reconnect. And I look forward to that joy and that excitement of reconnecting with all of you. And I want to also say thank you. Thank you very much, Zita, Reggie, and Safi, for the beautiful, beautiful gifts you have brought to this service this morning. Now, the theme, the Centers for Spiritual Living theme that we've been working with throughout October is going forward together. I know that sounds like sort of a Reverend Jenna sacred activism thing. Hey, it just, sometimes synchronicity cannot be ignored. And today our focus is on, I'll meet you there. Sounds a little cryptic, and actually it's quite big. We've got our work cut out for us, and I know we can do this together. You may have heard this African proverb that tells us if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. In our world, in our culture, in this day and age, technology, ever more so than in the past, is making it possible for all of us to go faster. Whether it's in our car, in an airplane, how fast our computer downloads, whatever it is. We have this thing for speed, and we keep getting our fix, as technology progresses. But we're going faster, and at the same time, we're still carrying our past with us. Not just our personal past, but also any cultural beliefs and practices that may not fit, who we've become, what we've become in this day and age. So you know, some of those remnants are starting to catch up with us. And we've found that with COVID, we've been connecting less. And perhaps we've even, with everything that's swirling in the world, personally, nationally, globally, we might start to feel a bit confused about what we're going to be called into and what our priorities and our values are. Might they need to shift as we go forward? But we do know in Science of Mind, spiritual principle is, it never shifts, but it is that grounding rod that allows us to shift and stay in our center. So it's interesting that we're facing a new twist on this African proverb of go fast alone, go far together. And with all the issues that we're facing in our world, we're actually being called to go fast together. So the proverb said, to go fast, go alone. To go far, go together. And we are being asked to go fast and far together. Oh, that is a different ballgame. And it's going to require us, each of us, to be resilient, and our, not just us, but our nation and our world to be resilient and to collaborate in a divided world with competing interests. So we may also need to reevaluate those priorities to identify what we value most, both individually and collectively. So this is new. We're in a new world, and we need to do this together. I know that in this community, we totally support each other, and that we will come together, we will learn the ropes, we will practice, and we will be successful at this. But let's talk about this a little deeper. Some of my favorite shows, when I watch Project Runway, Making the Cut, or some of those HGTV home design competitions, it seems that across the board, the worst assignment that can be given is when these creative contestants are given a team assignment. They're no longer allowed to respond to an assignment working from their design aesthetic and their take on what they are called to do. It's always challenging when they have to create as a team. So we need a new approach. And we may not all line up at this starting line all at the same time. In other words, some of us may come into this realization and this readiness, or ready or not, here we go, place. Some of us may come into it in a staggered continuum. We may not be all present all at once, but it doesn't change what we need to do. So what is spiritual about this? It's Sunday service. What is spiritual about this? Let's reflect back on our global vision, Centers for Spiritual Living, a world that works for everyone. This is an absolutely magnificent vision, and who can't embrace this, desire this? Our teaching emphasizes that we vision it, and we can learn to live into that vision, practice being there, put it on, wear it a little bit. What does it look like, feel like, all of that. Set our intentions for our world and for our role in bringing this forward. Go into spiritual practice, build that muscle, and act. Ernest Holmes was also clear on that. We have to take action. We often talk about moving our feet. We pray and move our feet. So this monthly theme we've had throughout October of going forward together supports that marvelous new world, that marvelous vision for the world that we have, the global vision. But here's the thing. We have this wonderful vision. How do we bring it about? You know, that takes planning and logistics and coordination and collaboration and all sorts of things. That's ours to do. And while we are going fast and forward together, this is where step one is getting ready to be in this role so we really do it well, and that we can be instrumental to creating a world that works for everyone in a peaceful, honoring, respectful, unifying way. So how are we going to bring this about? Because we all have skin in this game. All right, well, here's some possibilities. These are the more familiar ones. Should we compete? You know, and when there's competition, we're likely to be losing time debating and trying to determine, you know, who ends up top of the mountain. Or we can flex our power and influence. Let the most powerful decide for us. Or we could follow a popular Hollywood or social media influencer. Question is, will we like the results? You know, or let someone else do it for us and we just sort of sit back. You know, these are the traditional ways. These are the ways that, you know, at least for a century or more, we, and in some ways for much longer, humans have gone about addressing change. And sometimes there are other ways that are more violent as well. We have so many options. Which is the most likely to create a world that works for everyone in a beneficial way? So it's really calling on us to dive deeper in this philosophy, in our faith, in our trust, in our belief, and in our manifestation. We need to go deeper. That's what's spiritual about this. Each of us upping our game, upping our alignment and our actions in oneness with the Creator, so we can start to live more seamlessly as an inseparable team. You know, we affirm that we are one with God and we are one with all creation, including the planet, and yet we're not always operating that way in our day-to-day lives. There isn't a day that goes by that my personal spiritual practice reflects on. I am inseparably one with God. God and I are partners. And then I live into that. And I invite you to try that on and see if that helps you go more deeply into that living alignment. We give voice to being all one with each other and one with the earth. It's time now that we do this as an inseparable team at the earthly human level as well. And this really calls us to pay more attention now, to the spiritual code the master teacher Jesus gave us 2,000 years ago. Do unto others as we would have them do unto us. We embrace that, and now we're called to live that more deeply. So let's start piecing a path together. And I'm also going to be pulling in a lot of quotations of Ernest Holmes from the October Science of Mind magazine dailies. On October 14th, I'm really surprised. October is always devoted to Ernest Holmes. And I was surprised this year that there were some quotations in there where he makes mention of some things on the more troublesome side. And so that's going to crop in here as well. But these are quotations from Ernest Holmes. On October 14th, there's, I'm quoting from October 14th about the topic of creating the future. Because we know that our thought is creative, our feelings are creative, and we have a new future to create together. Holmes said, if our experiences are the result of our thoughts, then the future, if it is going to be given birth from the present, will be largely the content of our current minds, feelings, faith, and fear. It is no wonder that the future so seldom becomes better than the past, and often worse as pessimism takes the place of optimism. So there is our challenge, front and center. Our thoughts, our feelings, our fears are creative, as is our faith. And we know that we are called ever more deeply, profoundly forward to be aligned in our oneness with Creator and to be creating from that glorious vision that we have and holding the images that we're shown of an apocalyptic future, of all the fearful things that might happen, of all the problematic things we witness, to know that there is a greater truth and we are instrumental in bringing that forward. That's what's spiritual. So let's keep in mind that our thoughts now create some future effect. What we are living in presently is the after effect of some thoughts, feelings, and fears in the past. That's where we are called to mindfulness and spiritual practice and faith. Because we are collective. It's not only that our thoughts are creating, but as a human species, every thought is contributing to collective mass consciousness, to that future in every moment. I mean, let's think about the deposits, the contributions we're making to mass consciousness amongst all the mass consciousness that's been built up around apocalyptic movies, video games, and so on and so forth, and the news cycle. So how do we consciously and collectively create this together and do a better job this time? You know, we have a chance to do a do-over, but we don't know if we'll be able to do over our do-over. So we have to get it better, much better, do a much better job with it this time around. How often do we hear, you know, Jenna, you're being innocent, naive. It's always been this way. This is human nature. Just give it up. Stop trying to create a better world. Humans are just this way. And every time I hear that, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised if all of us would say, you know, at some point I've said that myself. I probably have said that myself. I'm gonna confess to that. But at this stage in my life, I really bristle when I hear that. Because for me, it deflects, but more than deflects, it's a why bother. And let's take it back to what we were just talking about. That why bother is really saying, you know, all that momentum of all that mass consciousness that's built up, well, we're just going to let it keep building. We're just going to let it continue to reiterate what's been before. Technology might be different, the poles might shift, but we're just going to let it keep going. I bristled there. And, sometimes I just want to rudely say, hey, I hear what you're saying. I want to recognize that. And let's consider, as humans, we don't live in caves anymore. Right? We're no longer constrained to the ground. We figured out how to fly. I mean, we even have flown to the moon and Mars. Gay marriage used to be unthinkable, and now it's inevitable. So humans do change. And, maybe we need to have a fest in which we just start a rant on all the incredible things that humans have changed. What has changed? So we know we can do it. There's another part of our human nature, and that is that every thought and feeling is creative. And when we choose to come together and we choose to believe a new vision, a higher vision, and enough of us choose that and believe that, then things change. So I want to pose these questions to you. Have we changed how we treat each other? Have we chosen to see the divine in each other as our top priority, and to do this no matter who we are dealing with and no matter how greatly they may trigger us? Have we chosen to create a more just and compassionate world? These are choices, and we are always at that choice point. And so we can do this. What are we choosing? How are we going forward together? Artificial intelligence is programmed by humans. Our mass consciousness is programmed by us. So let's choose our new deposits into that mass consciousness. And I've been going through this with some of the young ones in my family who have been saying the same thing. It's just the way things are. It's human nature. And I have this discussion with them that when we believe that, when we buy into that's just the way it is, that's human nature, we are reinforcing that myth, and we are forfeiting our creative power. But when enough humans choose something greater and new and different, the world changes. And most of all, one of the key changes we need to make is we need to start operating out of duality. Whoa, wait a minute. I've been saying this to myself more and more. Get out of duality. The young ones in my family have been saying, get out of duality. But that's almost one of those paradoxes that we can't quite grasp, but we need to, and we can. So interestingly enough, there's always wonderful synchronicities happening in the world, in our universe. We've heard about 100 monkeys, I believe. Most of you have heard about that. And if not, just paraphrasing very briefly, scientists years back recognized that we're observing monkeys in the wild. Notice that if one of them changed, it took a while for a few others to change, and then a while for a few others to change. But there was a tipping point at which, and it was, I think, approximately 100, and that's where it got titled, that there was a tipping point at which when enough of them had adopted that new change, maybe it was using a stick as a tool or whatever it may have been, suddenly everyone changed. It was that point where it became present and adopted everywhere. And just this past week when I was traveling, I happened upon an issue of Yes magazine. And in that there was an article on the 25% tipping point. A social change scientist has been exploring and researching what works in terms of social change, and learned that there is a specific tipping point for humans and social change. And that is 25%, not 24%, not 23%, not 20%, 25%. And what he learned is that when 25% of us start to adopt, accept an idea, when it becomes mainstream and accepted at that 25% of the population level, that is when there is just this momentous cascading effect of it becoming acceptable by the majority of the population, and social change ensues. So I titled my talk this morning, I'll Meet You There. It sounds perhaps a little cryptic, and my first go-to is, of course, the question is, what does this mean? And my first go-to, of course, is that famous saying by Rumi, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I will meet you there. For me personally, that field is a field of consciousness. That field is the field of divine order. That field is the field of being in alignment and oneness, being in our divine birthright of inseparably one with Creator, with whom we partner, and with every point of creation. That is the field beyond right doing and wrongdoing. That is the field that is beyond duality. So let's meet there, because Rumi is calling us out of duality. He's calling us out of separation. Whenever we are at odds with one another, we are separate. Whenever we say it's okay to damage the environment and pollute it or whatever for profit, that is separation from all of creation. So let's think about that field that is beyond right doing and wrongdoing, that divine field of oneness and divine consciousness in which we are all one, and from which we have come forward out of duality. And when we start down this road together, out of duality, out of honor and respect for each other, despite the differences, with compassion, with compassionate listening, and collaborating, because we are vested in the future we are building, remarkable things are going to happen. And as we do so, always keeping that global vision in our mind, we will build a better future. Remember, Ernest Holmes said, we have to see bigger, vision bigger, to build bigger, and not with pessimism. He also said on October 21st in the dailies, how can we expect to find beauty if we contemplate only unloveliness? The kingdom of heaven must be a state wherein one senses unity with good, the unity of all people with good. That's our call. That's our spiritual calling. And, we cannot delegate consciousness, and we cannot delegate co-creation to others. Well, we can't delegate it to them. We can defer to them. But we'll be living in this future we're building, as will our generations to come. We have a vested interest. And so I know we're all on board. So I want to tap back into some of the other things that Ernest Holmes said in this October's Science of Mind, the dailies, about getting out of duality. Today, the reading for today from the Voice Celestial was about seeing the real. I must find the real. I'm going to read these. I must find the real behind the things that seem. And then he goes on to say, and this one amazed me, and creeds. I shudder here. How often they affirm damnation. From them, no answer comes to me. This is calling us out of that realm of effect and to see the divine real behind all illusion, behind all shadows, behind all the news cycle, behind everything. The reading for yesterday, October 30th, from Creative Mind, see God in all. Learn to see God in all manifestation, in all people, through all events, and I will add every place that is earth. The infinite one manifesting in an infinite variety of forms. The body is not one mass of pollution. It is the temple of the living God. And when we are in that field of oneness of all creation, our body temple is every one and every aspect of this planet. On October 29th, he talks about God's language. All of us are rooted in the universal mind of God, the most dynamic reality in the universe. Don't be afraid to talk to God. But he clues us in. God speaks a certain kind of language, and there is nothing negative in it. And so that calls us to recognize what is less than desirable, but not to speak negatively. In other words, recognize where we are, what needs to change, but we don't have to disparage it. We don't have to disparage it. October 28th, develop our spiritual muscle. We cannot create attraction. Spiritual attraction is. We do not even create our own muscles. They are developed by use. And so he's inviting us to dig deeper in our spiritual practice and understanding what we're facing, and that we will get better in doing this day by day by day. That's how we build that spiritual muscle. Remember that like begets like. We have to love if we are going to broadcast love. And once again, that reminder that we build our future. And what are we building? So what is ours to do in wrapping up here? Unity and oneness with each other and the earth. See the real behind what seems. In other words, what's presented. A great example is the news media. See the divine in each other. And release, like the leaves are releasing right now, our judgments. Build our spiritual muscles of faith, trust, and belief. This is how we can move forward together in a higher way for a world that works for everyone. So let's meet in that field of divine consciousness and oneness and create a just, healed, and loving world for all. And in keeping with the times and our need of releasing the past so that we can go forward, I'd like to close with a poem by Lucille Clifton. The leaves believe. Such letting go is love. Such love is faith. Such faith is grace. Such grace is God. I agree with the leaves. And so it is.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Reverend Jenna, for that inspiring talk. Yeah, I agree with the leaves. You can talk with Reverend Jenna directly after service this morning on Zoom at today's after chat. Find the link in our newsletter or on our website calendar. And if you've joined us before, it's the same link. So please join us next week for another virtual-only service as Reverend Dr. Nadine Rogers begins a new theme, Breathe in the View, with her message titled Simply Breathtaking, along with our guest musician next week, Leah Morris. And now it's my pleasure to introduce once again, Safi Lin.
Trust your mind to ask the questions. Trust your heart to know the answers. Follow your soul as it leads you in its dances. Trust your mind to ask the questions. Trust your heart to know the answers. Follow your soul as it leads you in its dances. Once in a while you don't know where you're going, and once in a while you don't care. Once in a while you don't show how you're growing, lest you wake the sheep so deep inside their sleep. Once in a while you are scared. Will they ever notice or care? Once in a while you smile, fully knowing that you are complete inside that sacred heartbeat. Trust your mind to ask the questions. Trust your heart to know the answers. Follow your soul as it leads you in its dances. Trust your mind to ask the questions. Trust your heart to know the answers. Follow your soul as it leads you in its dances.
Thank you so much, Safi, for that beautiful, beautiful gift. You can follow Safi on Facebook or check her out on YouTube or on her website at www.safi, that's SAHFFI.com, for more opportunities to hear her fabulous, uplifting music. Straight from the heart, that's for sure. Thank you, Safi. All right, and now it's time for our conscious giving. We have just received, and now we can participate in the law of circulation by giving back. I invite you to invoke feelings of love, gratitude, and abundance, and allow them to fill you and to fill the space around you. And now let's use the power of our word by speaking our prosperity affirmation together. I know that the infinite abundance of the universe blesses and multiplies this offering, and so it is. We offer easy ways to donate. You can make a one-time or recurring donation through our website, www.columbiacsl.com, or you can text your donation to us at 410-498-6175, or for those who prefer, you may drop off or mail in a check to our office. So we receive and appreciate your gifts and tithes. Thank you so much for supporting us so that we remain a vital and thriving center in which you can find your spiritual nourishment. And I can too. We know that as we give with gratitude, we receive with gratitude. Would you please join me as we bless and receive every gift bestowed upon Columbia CSL? Together, we receive these gifts, knowing that they nurture and support our vision of contributing to a world that works for everyone. And so it is. On behalf of the entire community, thank you so much for being part of our spiritual family today. We look forward to seeing you again. At the end of service, we hope you check out our announcement slides and our website calendar, www.columbiacsl.com/events. And this way you can make sure that you know everything that's coming up in our community. That's where you'll find the link for our for After Chat, to sign up for After Chat with Reverend Jenna. And that starts after we're done here. We're running a few minutes late, but it'll just be right into that. We'll just go right into that. And now it's my pleasure to introduce once again Reverend Jenna to close our service with a benediction.
As God in expression, we release the old ways and co-create a way forward together, transforming our world with love, joy, faith, and grace. Now and always, ora, ahora, aquí. And so it is.
Something's calling me. Something's calling me. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. I'm walking on marbles, can't steal the earth beneath my feet. Is my head in the clouds, my naked legs left dangling. I can feel my heart begin to pound, and everybody said something's calling me. Little bit deeper than I've deeper than I've ever been before. Long dark night, my soul it wanders. Can't see the light that moves me. If God is everything and everywhere that I belong, Spirit gently wakes me from my sleep. Something's calling me little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Something's calling me a little bit deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, take me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, oh Lord, pull me deeper than I've ever been before. Oh Lord, I know I'm not the only one